From PickDogs.com, here with Brian Bitler. It is Friday, April 22nd, 2022. Here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Joe Madden, under the weather. Yesterday, she fought it to get on the premium and VIP shows, but not so lucky today. So I told Joe to take a few days off, that there's only so much lower we could sink as far as professionalism and attitude and all of those kind of good things. So we're probably going to be okay. Even if we bottom out, the fall won't be too hard. But yeah, she, that's how she is. She feels she needs to get up every day and see if she can give it a go. But I think she's better off just maybe Monday giving it a shot. That's just my 2 cents. She's going to do whatever she wants to do. But last night we had the epic comeback by the Grizzlies, and that could be it for the Timberwolves. You lose one like that, that's usually it.
Yeah, but it's 2-1 now, so that's
it's it.
0.
But it's over. But it's over. They've lost. The Timberwolves had a chance to really take home court advantage. They had won the game in Memphis, and they had the game put away. I posted on Twitter. 51 seconds left to go in the third quarter. One of the biggest sports media outlet in the United States gave the Timberwolves a 99.5% chance of winning that game.
Yep.
With 51 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and wasn't meant to be. It was the meltdown of meltdowns. You guys know I've had a hate relationship with the Timberwolves for a very long time, and I had them last night, and it was like, I almost expected it.
I turned it off in the third quarter with that time left, and I was on Facebook, and I saw somebody comment in our Facebook group that they couldn't believe the Wolves collapsed or something like that. I looked at the score, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I could not believe that either. But that is why they play the game, in the whole game. And, I'm sure we're going to hear about people that bet the end game and all that other stuff. And, we get to hear the picks after the game start. So, we have 3 games tonight in the NBA. The lines are a lot tighter than they've been the last 2 or 3 days. Both of the last 2 days, really the last 3 days, the biggest dogs on the board have won outright. So it started with a couple of days ago with the Pelicans beating the Suns. Then we had the Bulls beating the Bucks, and then last night the Mavericks beating the Jazz. Those were all the 3 biggest NBA favorites on the board. Each of those 3 nights all hit money line outright.
Without Luka, too.
Yep.
So that's an accomplishment.
Never understand why people care to say first. To me, it's like I'll take the first comment all the way over the this aged well, or them picking out one loss that you had. I hate this aged well is the dumbest YouTube comment of all of them. The second one is this guy's still fading the Dodgers, right? Just moronic. Yeah, I'm going to fade the Dodgers almost every single game.
Yeah, I like to fade him today too, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I like the other side.
I can't help myself.
Well, the run line, the Dodgers are 0-6 on the run line on the road. 0-6 as run line favorites on the road. They're 0-6 in their last 6. So anyone that thinks that they've made money on the Dodgers on the run line on the road is a liar. In fact,
we'll have to check in with them in September on the Dodgers run lines.
The last time we saw the Dodgers on the road, they were getting pounded in Colorado. They were getting whooped on. I don't see it, and it's like because they won some home games against the Cincinnati Reds. I mean, let's take a look at the betting tools and see exactly, what that giant homestand run even did for them, because that one loss wiped out 3 games worth of wins. But we could even see exactly what's going on here.
How about the Yankees flopping yesterday too? I think it was yesterday.
No, against the Tigers.
Tigers, I believe.
Yeah, I had the Tigers the first couple of games in that one, but not yesterday. So let's see. On the money line, the Dodgers, even with that big record, if you've bet them every game this season, $10, you're up $16.30. And what's their record? I mean, this is a tough way to make money. Let's see. Dodgers are... I mean, people, they just refuse to believe the numbers. And this is why, you can go into the bathroom at the Bellagio and it looks like it costs, $1 million. Because people they refuse to acknowledge the Dodgers have won 75% of their games. Okay, 9-3. 9-3. So there's 6 games over 500. You're 6 games over 500. If you bet $10 on them every game, you're up 1.5 units. So that is 25% profit. That is because that is a really, really tough sledding. Because what that means is 2 losses and you're in the negative with a winning record again for the Dodgers. And what we've seen from them traditionally is once they slip into the negative money, they never come back. So keep betting them if you want to lose money. I don't understand it. It's certainly, you want to make some money, Colorado Rockies. Colorado Rockies, 8-4 on the season, 4 games over 500. So actually 33% less wins than the Dodgers. 33% less in the winning percentage of the Dodgers. And you've made 44.2 more units on them. It's like that's where the money's made. Oakland, 51.80. I bet them on the run line yesterday. I got plus 190 on my money. The Mets, who I haven't really been on as much. Brian's Angels. The Cardinals, just playing slow and steady. And the Padres, who were last year's disappointment, are the money is a money team. It's you know what? Let's put this right up on the board so people don't have to take my word for it. But, yeah, I don't understand the comment, Personally.
I mean, I think before the season's over, we'll see teams like the Seattle Mariners, Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals, Cleveland Guardians,
I mean, no reason to take my word for it. Here are the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. This is the money line, okay, right here. So you can see them. So the Rockies are the top team. The worst team is probably going to be the Reds because of that horrible road stand.
Yeah.
And then underneath that, Texas Rangers, who, have one of the worst records. The Phillies, who are overrated every single year. The Twins, who have kind of underachieved. The Orioles. It's not a hot streak. It's a home hot streak. The streak was 6-0 that I read from the betting tools. So he's saying I didn't call you names. No, you didn't call me names. But you said you're still fading the Dodgers. They're 0-6 in this situation in their last 6. That is the streak. The hot streak is the other direction. I was pointing it out to you. The hot streak is the other direction of what you think. The streak is 6-0. They're 0-6 on the run line as run line favorites on the road. The Dodgers, their last 6 on the road that they've been favored, they have not covered the run line. That's the streak. That is the hot streak. Not that they beat the Reds at home, That's for damn sure.
Well, we know fading the Dodgers run line over the long term is a profitable.
Oh, it's more profitable than just fading the Dodgers. Fading the Dodgers run line is even more profitable than just fading the Dodgers.
It's nothing personal against the Dodgers. It's just they have the least value on the card normally.
The Phillies are overrated every year. Last year it was the Jake Arrieta acquisition, remember, and Bryce Harper.
That wasn't last year. That was a couple.
Yeah, it's like they all start to bleed together. Totally overrated. Totally overrated. I'm not backing down from that one. That's for sure. No way am I.
Phillies are overrated.
If you expect me to back down from my Philly overrated comment, that's
not today. I'm kind of interested in them, but anyway, that's later. And
for me, that's a game I can't even play. But let's go to these NBA games. We'll come back to baseball. I think baseball is super interesting, and I think we're so early in the season too that, and you have a situation like where the Dodgers are now going back on the road where they got clobbered in Colorado, right? I mean, Urias, who pitches today on the road, the last time we saw him on the road, he couldn't get out of like the second inning. I mean, he just got bombed. So it's like this is a situation where, I mean, you got to go reverse run line here on the Padres. You got to go Padres Padres plus the run and a half, Padres money line, Padres reverse run line, and maybe even lay the 2.5 here against the Padres, plus the first 5, and yes, runs first inning.
I mean, they got the Dodgers price today like they're starting Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Anyway. Nick Martinez isn't that bad.
The Dodgers won one, so the Dodgers didn't win the World Series last year. The Dodgers have won one World Series in the last 10 years, and they've had teams like this every single year. So it's not last year that they didn't win the World Series. It's the last 10 years. They've won one. They've won one. I mean, you guys are delusional, man. Delusional. Not all of you, and I'm not saying you guys are really delusional. We're just arguing sports. I just don't see it. I think
people love to bet the Dodgers.
Well, here's my issue with it. The numbers are the numbers, man. When I do the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, and when I say these stats about the Dodgers, I'm not making these up and saying, oh yeah, Dodgers or whatever. I'm like, these are the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. If you bet the Dodgers every single game, you're going to lose money. That's the formula. That's the formula. Larry likes the Pelicans money line. I had the Pelicans money line the last time they played. I don't know if I like it as much here. I just don't know if there's any value on that. I think if you're going to lay the Pelicans money line, I think you got to go deeper in the -3.5 type territory. 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. If you're going to go that route. If not, just take the 1.5. Just bet them. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of laying 1.5, we got the Heat and the Hawks. This one at 1.5. This one's bounced. It went from 2 to 1 to 1.5. So it's all around. This is do or die for the Hawks. Down 2-0, and really not even a whiff of it in either of those games. We saw this same situation with the Raptors and the Sixers, and Embiid with the big shot to kind of put that series away. Larry says -3 all day on that one. What kind of odds can we get on that? But Brian, what do you think here? Without Capella, they've had 0 answers inside. I mean, 0.
Well, we also saw it in the Nuggets Warriors, where the Nuggets needed to win yesterday to keep that from going to 3-0. So there's another situation. I'm gonna take the Atlanta Hawks here plus the 1.5. They're always tough in Atlanta. Miami does get disrespected, overall in general. But I just think this is a must-win game for the Hawks, and they're at home on a Friday night. It's just a free pick, but I'm gonna take the Hawks plus the 1.5.
What do you think the Pelicans are -3, Brian?
I would say if they're -3, it's probably paying out about plus 250.
Yeah, see, that's what you would think. It's actually only plus 140.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's a really good sign if you're a Pelicans backer, but it's showing that there's really not even a lot of value laying the points there. It's not even worth it.
That's your territory, the big bombs. I'm just
no. I'm just looking at it, and it's even if you go to 6,
I would think it'd pay out more. I would think it would pay out more.
Yeah, I mean, even if you go to 6, it's only plus 231. It's not there. If you're laying 6 with a 1.5 favorite, you need to be getting plus 500, plus 400, plus 425, plus 450. You can't do it at plus 231. I think you just lay the 6. It's I'm not really sure. But anyways, the Heat and Hawks, I just think that the Hawks, without Capella, just no answers whatsoever. And I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe that there's going to be anything different tonight. If the Heat are going to drop a game here in this series, this is the one more than likely that they would drop. You got the Bucks and the Bulls, and this line is on the rise up to 3 now, and the money line up to 125 on the Bulls in this one. But the Bulls in Game 1, they reeled the Bucks in, and we knew the Bucks were in trouble in Game 2. I gave them out on the money line, the Bulls on my big bomb plays, and the Bucks, ever since kind of that last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter of game one, they've looked on their heels. What do you think?
Yeah. Typically in these playoff games, I always look to take the under and reasons to take the under. But in this game, I think I'm going to lean towards the over. We saw it open up at 224. It's down at 222.5, I believe. The Bulls just sometimes struggle on defense. And I think the Bucks give up points from time to time. I just think we're going to see a higher scoring affair. First team to 120 wins this game, I think.
Yeah, I just don't see I haven't seen the Bucks have really any answers yet in this, in this series. Like I said, since that initial jolt that they took from the Bulls in that fourth quarter of the first game, and since then the Bulls have rode that momentum. Now they just get home. Chris Middleton, of course, out now for the Bucks, and George Hill, he's been out, and it looks like Portis is going to go. I just think the Bulls are, early in the season we saw the Bulls play really well. They kind of tailed off towards the end, but now that they're healthy again and we're starting to see that team back on the court that we saw earlier this season, we're definitely seeing a Bulls team that looks ready to roll. For the last game of the night, the one that we were talking about earlier, we got the Pelicans taking on the Suns. Booker out for this one, and he is a key piece in this puzzle. It's so weird that he doesn't really get the credit, that some of these other guys get.
You don't hear many people saying, "Do you guys know Devin Booker's out for this game?"
Yeah,
you don't really hear that. So
no, you don't.
For me in this one, I'm going to go first quarter Pelicans minus 105. I was expecting them to be favored, much like the Raptors were the other night in the first quarter, but they're not. It's just minus 105. I think New Orleans at least starts off strong in this one, takes an early lead, although we've seen them in the past have to come back in the second half.
I don't know. I think the way the Pelicans are playing, they're just full of confidence right now. So, very tough to go against them. I'm gonna take them. And they're gonna go up 2-1 here on the Suns if that happens. Something that's really surprising. I thought yesterday, in that Mavericks Jazz game with the Jazz being favored by a touchdown in that game, that I just didn't even understand it. Because the Mavericks are the higher seeded team and they've outplayed them all season long, yet the Jazz were favored by 7. It just didn't even make any sense at all. In this one, the line is so low on the Pelicans. It's like they are begging for that Suns money. It's like they're begging for it, but it's like they're getting it. It's not doing anything really here. They're getting it. There's certain people, that probably the same people that are betting the Dodgers run line with negative odds, are probably betting the Suns here.
I'm going to be interested to see what that game tips off at. If it stays at 1.5, maybe goes to 2. I'm just interested to see what it tips off at, what the final number is on the Suns Pelicans tonight.
Anyways, Brian, what are you selling today?
Well, yesterday a 2 and 3 kiss your sister type of day. I need to bounce back. I got really I love the card today. I don't say that a lot, but I really mean it today. Fantastic sweep ready 3-pack. It's my 3 best bets. 2 of them in the NBA, 1 Major League Baseball game. Should be a nice profit day. 3 plays, $50. Pickdogs.com premium picks.
I went through a little bit of a rough patch in baseball, as we come through. I take a lot of underdogs, so like when you see, some of the handicappers that take a lot of favorites on top of the board, that it hasn't probably been a good run for me. And, there's certain cappers that, we just have different styles. I have certain cappers that it's like basically we're almost always opposite. And then you have other guys that, there's just a mix. So there's certain guys, if you see them on top of the board, normally I'm near the bottom. That's just the way that it is. But yesterday, the dogs bit down hard. So even though I had a little bit of a rough patch in baseball, I'm pretty much back to even for the season. So it's like I'm just getting there. I looked like I was about to fall off a cliff. And then all of a sudden, the last 2 days, the dogs have started to bite again. We caught that A's run line at plus 190. We caught the Rangers.
Pirates won.
And the
yesterday.
Pirates, the Pirates won. So I thought all of those, and I think today, like what Brian said, I think there's a bunch of games like that. So like I said yesterday, and I'll continue to say it every day, I have a 3-pack out there, but that's not all the picks that I have. So if you buy my longer term, like I have an NBA pick, my best of the NBA today, but I don't have it for individual sale. It's only for people that have the long-term packages, and it's way better value to get the long-term packages anyway. So I think
also have 2 additionals. So I just like you, I add 2 additionals for the longer term guys.
Yeah. So it's like, it ends up being, it's like, and maybe I should state that better, in my write-ups and stuff. I'm not great at I'm not a sales pitch guy, so it's like my write-ups of my picks are not always the best, as far as the hype is what they call it. But, maybe I should make that a little bit more clear to everybody when I put my daily package out there, saying I have other picks for long-term subscribers in there. These are just 3 plays that I have on for today's games. So and it's like one is like $60 or $70 for 3 days, and the other is like $40 for 1 day. It's like,
you have a fantastic price for a 3-day. Very cheap.
I put it out. I lowered it just to give more people an opportunity to take advantage of it. But it's not going to stay there forever. That's for sure. I just figured, beginning of baseball season, to let it happen. But anyway, speaking about baseball season, I agree with Brian. This is a great card, and I know Brian is like me. He's not taking Dodgers and Yankees run line every game. That's for sure. So, this could be a really good day. It could be a Friday where it's, just minus 200 Chalk City. And that's why I don't have that many picks, out there today, because I've been creamed on days like this before too. So
yes, I've been creamed on days like this.
So we got the Cubs and the Pirates kicking it off at Wrigley. Drew Smiley has had a resurrection here. He hasn't given up a run yet, but does he regress to form? Because he's not going to have a 0.0 ERA all season. We know that. So,
most of the time guys play to the back of their baseball cards.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, just because they're not there today, it only increases the chance that that's going to happen. And just like, the Dodgers aren't going to win, 75% of their games. There's no team that's done that. So we got the Pirates and the Cubs. We've got the Reds and the Cardinals. Interesting game there. And then the Nationals and the Giants. Brian, what about these 3 games?
I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Pirates here. Quintana, not too bad for the Pirates. And I think Smiley regresses towards the mean, his typical season. I don't think the Chicago Cubs are a minus 160 team. I'm not going to bet the house on the Pittsburgh Pirates today, but they showed what they could do against Chicago yesterday. I think they have a good chance to get the win today. And then maybe I'm going to go a little public here. I'm going to take the San Francisco Giants. They're a rock solid profit team, and I think they get the W today against the Nationals.
Yeah, Sam Long gets the start in that one for the Giants. I thought it was
a bullpen game.
It looks like it. I mean, he's a 1-inning guy. I thought it was Alex Wood, but he got shifted out. I don't have a premium in any of these 3 games, so I'm wide open to talk about them. I like the Pirates here because they dominate the Cubs in general. We saw the Cubs get out to a big lead yesterday. We saw Mark Leiter, mow down the Pirates in the first 2 innings, and they did not care because they know they always win at Wrigley. They always do. And, even when the Cubs had those World Series teams, the Pirates go into Wrigley, bust them up. Charlie Morton was on the Pirates, he used to bust up the Cubs. It's a big dog. I have some good pictures of me at the games with in front of the scoreboard with the Pirates busting them up, And the thing about last night's game, I just can't believe the reverse run line didn't come in. It's like the Pirates had so many opportunities to pad it. And, when the Pirates, the thing was that they had come off of that series in Milwaukee, and they had gotten swept in Milwaukee. So none of those really good relievers that they have, which they have a ton of them, none of them got any work. So last night in Chicago, as soon as, Bryce Wilson got through it or whatever, I mean, he didn't really get through it, right? He got hit hard early, but then he kind of recovered. But once they put in those bullpen guys, it was like they were all fresh live arms because none of them had pitched in Milwaukee because they were never in any of those games. So they had all these fresh live arms, and they just mowed the Cubs down. I think those guys are going to get some work again here today, and it's just a matter of if Quintana can put them in position. These 2:20 Eastern time start games at Wrigley doesn't necessarily mean a lot of success for the Cubs. It just means a lot of seagulls there as the game starts to wind down.
I could have used another day game on the card. Just one's not enough for me.
It's Friday. I mean, we're lucky we got the one.
Yep.
We got the Reds and the Cardinals. In this one, I think Hunter Green looked really good in his first outing. Steven Matz is Steven Matz. You know what you're going to get at this. And while normally I would be all over the Cardinals because they pretty much dominate the Reds coming home from that really bad road trip. And you can't win the division in April, but you can knock yourself right out of it. And this is a must-win game for the Reds. This is really a must-win game at this point. And you're starting to see where losing Winkler and Castellanos is a problem for this team. Where they're not the same team they were last year. They're not even close. You had 2 All-Stars, and they both are gone. And, that's small market. And that's the issue with the Reds here. Meanwhile, Patrick Corbin, like Brian said, serves them up, Patrick Corbin last year had his worst season he ever had as a pro. When he missed, the ball went right down the middle of the plate. And we saw the same thing against Atlanta in his second start of the year when he went 2.2 innings. This is the Corbin line. 2.2 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs, 6 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 83 pitches, 2.2 innings, and taking the loss. That's a Corbin line all the way. And but then last time out, he bounced back against Pittsburgh. They still lost the game, but he had a no decision there, giving up 3 hits and 2 runs, still walking 3. He just finds too much of the plate when he's missing, and the Giants are too opportunistic. That's the problem that they have here. We go to Yankee Stadium. Jameson Taillon, once again, way over bet here. I mean, minus 190. Cleveland's only won 5 games in a row. I don't know. You tell me. I have no idea on that one. Why this guy is minus 190. Phillies minus 125 against the Brewers. That seems a fair price because they have one good pitcher on the Phillies, and he's pitching today. And then you've got the Rays and the Red Sox. A lot of people down on Michael Wacha, but we hit that strikeout prop with him last time out. The betting tools really zeroed in on the Wacha strikeout prop last time he pitched. It's 4.5 almost every time he pitches. The first outing, he just didn't make it that far enough into the game and ended up with 4. Last time he pitched a little further, got the 5 to cash the prop. The Michael Wacha 4.5 strikeout prop hits 70% plus. 70% plus, and it pays even money almost every single time. It's one of the best props out there. It's the under the radar Michael Wacha strikeout prop. Brian, a little Michael Wacha strikeout prop action for you?
No, maybe just for some fun. I'm not really a prop guy, but in that particular game, I'm going to go a little bit public, take Tampa Bay Rays. Boston's really burned me. Maybe they're going to burn me again on the other end here because I've been losing with the Red Sox. I just think Tampa's at home. The price is comfortable for me against Michael Wacha, but I think the game that sticks out is the Cleveland Guardians here. I'm going to take them on the run line. I'm going to wuss out because they got TBD going, but Jameson Taillon's probably worse than TBD. I'll take a chance with the Guardians here on the run line. Then the Phillies and Brewers. I'll take Ranger Suarez laying the price against Freddie Peralta. Peralta's excellent, but he hasn't kicked into form yet. Phillies are at home. They need wins. So I'll take the Phillies here laying the price.
TBD is Eli Morgan, I believe.
Ooh. Yeah, he doesn't get me excited, but Taillon doesn't, and the Yankees aren't playing great baseball, so I'll take the run and a half. This is Guardians or nothing on that game, and for the Phillies Brewers, I really can't even touch that game. I like the Brewers in it, but if the Phillies are going to win a game, it's in a spot like this with Suarez. He's their only guy that they have on the whole team. He's the only good player they have. Everyone else should be traded. Wheeler's not.
They should just gut the roster and start over again.
And Nola's not that high priced. Then the Phillies are all right. They'll come back. They'll be content.
Yeah, but Nola's 4 innings of disaster, Wheeler
6
got
innings.
Wheeler got crushed last time.
He
It's
did.
like,
He got crushed. I don't think he's 100%. I think there's something wrong with him.
Bryce Harper sucks. It's like, this is a bad team. 5-8, 500 at home.
I think the Phillies win 85, 86 games.
3-7 in the last 10 at that pace. Well, I don't think so. Can't do it. Of those, I like the Guardians, and I would even go reverse run line on that thing. But I would just take them regular. Why not? You're getting plus 170 on your money. Not bad. Again, in a game that, I mean, I think they should be favored, really. They're the better team. I think this Rays Red Sox, is interesting. I don't know if I like the minus 161 on Kluber. This line really jumped. Walker's not that bad. But I don't know. I could take it or leave it.
That's Ruflo's favorite guy, Michael Walker. He likes him.
Got the Tigers and the Rockies, the Braves and the Marlins, and then Justin Verlander, who looks like a Cy Young Award winner again, on the mound here against the Blue Jays. Brian, what do you think of these three? Trevor Rogers, our guy, has been hit really hard this season. He's had trouble getting out of the first inning.
Yeah, but he'll bounce back. I have confidence in Trevor Rogers. But the game that sticks out to me is the one with the high price. I think I'll take the Houston Astros and Justin Verlander. It looks like they don't want you to bet the Astros today. And, I don't mind laying a price if I think I'm getting a good deal. I think their book's begging you to take the Blue Jays here. I think the Astros get it done with Verlander on the mound. I like that game.
Suarez is the only Phillies pitcher worth a crap. I don't understand why, James. Who is better than him on that team? Who do they have?
Name one. Wheeler's better.
Name one player at any position on that team that's better than him.
Oh, there's plenty of players.
Oh, they stink. They stink.
Yeah, they probably had the best catcher in the National League.
They stink. We got a lock.
A lock? Oh, I think the Astros are a lock today.
No, we got a lock in the chat. Someone says,
okay.
Cubs money. Oh, Derek Cover. Cubs money line, Giants money line. Thank me later.
I don't think the Cubs are ever a lock.
Yeah, I like the Pirates on that one. Thank me now. Thank me now. You don't need to thank me later. Wheeler is better than Suarez. No way. Wheeler is straight trash.
If Wheeler's healthy, he's better.
No, he's not. He's a very bad player. He's not good. He's way overrated.
No, he has a good whip and a good strikeout to walk ratio.
Yeah, you know what he doesn't do? Win games. And that's really the problem I have with him. There really isn't a lot of argument for that. Nick Castellanos is the one guy that they have that at least has a high ceiling.
He doesn't play defense, though. He's a liability in the field.
Zach Wheeler, 7.2 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, all of them earned.
It was a bad start. Yeah.
1 bomb, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. That was his
worst start in years.
And a 9.39 ERA. He's got 4 more runs on his ERA than Zach Eflin. Oof. Nothing pretty about that. I like the Rockies against the Tigers. I know it's not a popular pick, and I know the Tigers have actually had their way with the Rockies. But Tarek Skubal, when he's missing, he gives up a lot of home runs, and the Rockies have some really good home run hitters. The Rockies, we're getting a really good value here on the Rockies this season on the road so far. We've only seen them on the road twice, and they won both those games, and that's probably 2 more wins than they had in the first 3 months of last year on the road. The Rockies were horrible on the road last season. So I think some of the best value in baseball this season is going to be the Rockies on the road in these road spots because they were so bad on the road last year. The worst road team, in all of baseball last season. And over the first half of the season, I think they only won 3 road games at all before the All-Star break. So they've already got 2. And I think straight value, though I do think Miggy gets hit number 3,000 here against Senzatella right out of the gate.
I could see that happening.
Kyle Wright is not even a minus 145 guy. I like the Marlins. I think I would go reverse run line on the Marlins in that one. They kind of have the Braves number too. Bailey Ober up against Michael Kopech in Minnesota. We got Reed Detmers against Bruce Zimmerman at the Big A. And Adam Oller against Glenn Otto. Rangers minus 135 favorites at Oakland. Bullpen game. They got a guy with a 9.26 ERA starting here.
For me in that grouping of games here, I'm going to go against the Chicago White Sox. They've been struggling, and now they're on the road. Twins with Ober. I love Kopech. I think he's a very solid starter, but I think the Twins get it done at home at this price. It just seems like they're begging for Chicago White Sox money. I like the Baltimore Orioles. I'm going to take the plus 1.5 here. Although Reed Detmers has been horrible for the Angels, and these are the type of game the Angels choke away. But I'm going to take Baltimore plus the 1.5 in Minnesota on the money line.
I would lay a 1.5 with Baltimore on here against Reed Detmers. I like the way the Orioles are playing. I know they're not winning games, but I even had Oakland on the run line yesterday, and I like the way the Baltimore kind of fought back. I don't like their bullpen, once again, part of the issue, but I think in this one they're probably out far enough that we should be okay. They did get that 1-0 win the other day, which was super encouraging for them as well. I think we're going to find some value, and I think even at 4-9 on the Orioles, this is today's the day, right? Today's the day. I like Kopech as well, but I just can't get on that game. The White Sox have been terrible on this road trip, getting swept in Cleveland, something that you don't see too often, and they've fallen right out of first place because of that. It's early in the season, but Kopech he's one of those guys. He could throw a no-hitter on every single night. He could just spontaneously combust, and I think he's closer to the no-hitter, but I think this one's going to be competitive. I like the White Sox there, but not enough to go like on a premium pick or something. I like the A's against the Rangers. I don't even understand that one. The Rangers are one of the worst favorites in baseball. 0-9 in the last 9 times they've been favored.
It looks strange that they're favored. It just doesn't make sense to me. So.
Well, it's Oller, is the issue.
Yeah, but the A's find those guys that like Oller but I know it's Oller.
Got the Diamondbacks against the Mutts. We've got the Padres against the Dodgers, and the Mariners up against the Royals. This is the best time slot of the day. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I agree. It's the best time slot of the day. Lots of value in there. I just San Diego Padres almost a premium here, plus 1.5. I just think Dodgers way overpriced here. They haven't shown anything on the road, and long-term run line's a killer for the Dodgers. So you're only laying minus 125, I think, for the Padres on the run line. I think they'd have an excellent chance to win it, but I definitely think it's a one-run game. And then the Royals, normally I like to play them at home, but I think you're getting a good price with them here on the road at plus 120. I think we see Kansas City get an upset here.
So Zach Gallen going into last season was a career sub-3 ERA guy. Last season he had kind of an aberration season. He was injured for a good portion of that, and he pitched injured. This season we've seen him already. He looks a lot better than he looked last year. And
4 solid innings last time out.
Yeah, the Mets are off to the hot start. New York team. This is fade central, on the Mets.
Everybody's got to be riding the Mets.
Oh, yeah. Humping up on the Mets. I think we even heard of lock in there, right?
Thank me later.
Thank me now on that one. Meanwhile, the Padres, like I said on my 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, the Dodgers 0-6 as run line favorites on the road. So plus the 1.5, you're only laying minus 130 with the Padres here. I'm not generally a plus 1.5 guy, but that's too good to be true, to be honest with you. And then I think you can continue on down the line, taking the Padres, who are straight value. They have as many wins as the Dodgers and played against tougher teams. I like the Padres to win this game. I would even go reverse run line on this thing too. I like the Padres, kind of the big trifecta, and yes, runs first inning.
I can see it. Whoop. Technical difficulty.
Chris Flexen was a nice story last year for the Mariners, and 2 years ago he had pitched in the KBO, and kind of filled a nice role for the Mariners. But I think that we're starting to see the regression. The film is out, right? So everybody knows what to expect on him, and he doesn't have good enough stuff to overcome that, and that's part of the problem. Brad Keller plays on the Royals, so he kind of flies under the radar, but he actually has really good stuff. He gets confused with Mitch Keller on the Pirates, who's not good, and a lot of people confuse these two. But Brad Keller is actually really good. His first outing against the Guardians, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 5 Ks, 1 walk. Second time out, losing to Detroit. Really tough loss in this one. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, and then the home run that cost him. Losing 2-1 against the Tigers. That is a tough day at the office to lose. He is way better than that. He's 0-1 with a 1.38 ERA. We're getting plus money on him. Why
Definitely
not?
Excellent bargain.
Yeah, why not? Just like, the Rangers yesterday, pounding left-handed pitching, and we saw, the Mariners get out early on him, and then Gonzalez, he was just basically, once they came around the second time through the order on him, they just unloaded on him, The Mariners bullpen, I think, while they were decent, they've been known as decent throughout the years, they didn't look so good yesterday. In fact, they got the game to 6-6, and it was Steckenrider that blew it at the end, giving up runs. And I'll tell you, they were lucky to get out of that. They were lucky to get away with just giving up 2 runs. They had runners, in scoring position all the way in that thing.
Yeah, that was a late game. I checked when I went to bed. It was looking good for the Texas Rangers, but when I woke up, they held on to the lead, so that was good.
We call it the lock of death.
Arizona. A lot of Mets in the parlays today, I bet.
A lot of Mets.
Mets and Suns, money line.
All right, you got a parlay for today?
Yep, I'm going to take the Kansas City Royals on the money line, the San Diego Padres plus the 1.5, and the Houston Astros on the money line. Parlay those 3 up. Really love those 3.
Houston Astros money line.
I know that they're minus 167. I know it's a high one, but that's a confident. I don't lay high juice unless I'm confident. I'm confident in the Astros today.
WFAN reporting Joey Gallo going to be traded. I couldn't believe that they even thought he was a viable product. This guy strikes out so much. It's like he stinks.
It's like Adam Dunn.
Terrible. Who would give anything for him? Probably the Phillies.
No, Phillies don't need another big outfielder that can't play defense.
Yeah, that's he fits the mold.
No, they don't need him.
Probably the Pirates. The Yankees always rape the Pirates. All right, for my parlay, I'm going to take I'll take the Pelicans minus 6. I'll parlay them up with the Guardians and the Marlins. Mitch and Brian, thanks for joining us. It's been a fun day. If you're premium or VIP members, we'll have our shows right after this. Joe has sent me her picks, so we'll read them off for you. And if you haven't seen it, calling Ron's shot, or what is it called? Ron's rundown. Check out that video.
Love Ron's rundown.
Everyone loves Ron's rundown.
The best.
Yeah, it's the most popular video on our channel.
And I might add that Ron is number 1 in Major League Baseball this year so far on the leaderboard.
It's early.
Make sure you check him out.
It's early.
It's early, but he's number 1. So
yep. Can't win it in April, that's for sure.
You can lose it, though.
Yep. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We're going to try and act more professional tomorrow.